Yes, Snow Talk. It is back. Told you guys if we had a chance for anything on the snow side that we would go back to that title if we needed to, and I think this is trending to where I think it's warranted now. We'll get to that in a second. First off, there's the rain moving through. Strong winds. I mean, 49 mile per hour wind gusts at Louisville International earlier on, so very windy. But that's all calming down now. The rain's going to begin to fade out, and things will improve later on today, which is certainly some good news. Look at the shape of this system, though, that produced all that severe weather overnight to our west. I mean, a perfect little comma shape, if you will, a little swirly cube. It extends all the way down into our area. Very classic cyclone across the eastern half of North America right now, but dry weather. So that's what's coming our way the next couple of days, some dry weather movement into our direction. So let's talk about what's coming our way for the upcoming weekend. If you remember, hopefully you do, this is the GFS, operational and ensemble, top to bottom. Here's the Euro, here's the Canadian. This is for Saturday. Here's the storm. It's trying to operationalize right over portions of Arkansas, not far from it on the Euro, and the Canadian still is having a tough time. It's way to the south, in fact, compared to the others. The ensembles, matching fairly close to that idea overall. They do waffle a bit on that rain snow line of about, I would say 50 to 70 mile waffle going on here between the different models, but they're all in fairly good agreement on that lineup, the way it's setting up. So very interesting to see that much agreement this early. Doesn't mean anything necessarily as far as it's locked in for sure, but it's a good trend to start with here, even this far out, and even as we get into Sunday morning, you can see where the positive or neutral NAO is winning out here. This is going to go more east than it will up the coast, and therefore it's more favorable track to bring a snowfall event to the Ohio and perhaps even Tennessee valleys. Now, where's it at now? The energy in question. Well, here's a look at the lower 48. It's hard to see here, so let me change my wand to a different color. Here's a look at the lower 48. Here's Kentucky right here. The energy in question, by the time we get into tomorrow, is still here in the Eastern Pacific. So it's not on land yet to have fully been sampled. However, a lot of the key parts, especially the high to our north that need to be sampled, are also already on land and being sampled. And I think that's why we're seeing some decent agreement already, is because a lot of the key factors, it's not just this guy here that has to be sampled to determine if it's the exact track. This plays a role too. And I think this getting sampled so well, being over land now, is going to help things out with this forecast. But any slight differences here could certainly allow for that. I'm thinking about a 50 to 70 mile waffle that will take place whenever that gets sampled. And it looks like it's going to get sampled Thursday night and Friday morning. It'll be on shore, and we'll see if what waffle takes place, if you will, at that point. When you look at the ensembles from the European model, they have really aimed more toward the south, really digging this thing way south. Yesterday they were over into this area, which was taking the snow band more toward Indy, and now it's trying to dig it a little more to the south, which actually takes the snow band closer to, say, Mammoth Cave, is where the Euro is trying to aim towards some of the heavier snow band potential. When you look at the analogs, this is the first time we're able to see some of the analogs. The number one analog is March of 2011. We didn't get much out of that. Other analogs, here is 1987. Here is the just after Valentine's Day 2015, where Southern Kentucky got walloped. Got a few others here that are showing up. There's one, 1993, showing up from March, and then 1980 in January. So, I mean, it's not a sure thing, but this is likely going to be what will be a heavy, wet snow that will take place. And the way it's looking now is I think there's going to be a possibility of snow. The range for it here, this is not amounts. Don't confuse this map with a snowstorm in blue. All right, I'm just trying to show you the possibility zones here and likelihood zones. And the possibility range is as far north as, say, Fort Wayne, all the way down to Nashville. At the moment, though, it looks like there will be a greater chance right across a good portion of wave country. And I'm not ruling out the parkways may end up being one of the key spots. We'll see if that nails into that once we get sampled. But again, with that 50 to 70 mile shift, I'm giving it some wiggle room here where that band of heavier wet snow will fall. I don't think it's going to be a wide band. I think it's going to be fairly focused, narrow. That means some of you will get skipped out. Some of you will get hit pretty hard potentially with heavy wet snow. In this case too, snow rates are going to be key, or precipitation rates. There's some cold air to work with to produce a heavy wet snow. There's not a lot. So in order to get a heavy wet snow like this, it's going to come down hard. And with this low deepening to our south, the potential is there for it to come down pretty hard. And that's key, because that can overwhelm a warm ground. You're like, well, it's been 72 degrees on Thursday. There's no way this is going to stick. Trust me, you get a heavy rate of snowfall. It doesn't matter if we've been in the 70s. It will accumulate. All right? So let me be clear on that. And that's where you're going to get some substantial amounts that will accumulate rapidly. Big flakes. And there's a chance, too, that wherever the heavier band of snow is, because it's lighter surrounding it, it could be actually more of a mix of rain and snow. Even to our north of the snow band could be a rain-snow mix, while it could be snow and the heavier band itself. So again, the rate is going to be key on this, as well as the track. Let's nail down the track first. We got to wait on that. Sorry, guys. After we nail down the track, a much more focused area, then let's talk about the rates to determine how much on amounts, and then we'll nail down the timing as well. It's a phased system, one step at a time. No need to hype. Don't need to panic. We've got this. We're watching it carefully for you guys. It's exciting. It's fun. It's fun to look at. March snows are fun because wet snows don't stick around very long. If you're a snow fan, this is great. If you're not a snow fan, it's great as well, because it'll be a distant memory in a matter of days. That's it for now, guys. We'll see how it all looks later on.